My joke pick. Noctis.
I would say he's actually fairly likely. That face you made. Too bad I can't show it. Okay, so in this video, my brother and I are going to be just speculating so far. Okay, for the record, other than a couple of cursory things like the most obvious Disney movies that are included, I have not looked up or heard or seen any videos or anything confirming or deconfirming stuff about contents from the new Kingdom Hearts that's coming out in a couple of days. That's already out in Japan, so some people, so someone's already off. So like 10 people have already 100% the game. That's kind of the sad truth. But yeah, and someone stateside has pirated it. Hey, wait! I just realized.
What?
I made a Japanese PSN account. I could have bought the game.
Great.
No,
job.
I want to get it in English. I want to get it in English. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing Mickey Mouse speak Japanese.
I don't
Call
want
me
to
racist.
I don't want to have to sit there with Google Translate.
Exactly.
Just to be able to.
This video is all about Final Fantasy content that could be in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, of course, we've been speculating about this for like literally like over a decade by now, but basically, like a decade and a half, basically. But yeah, this is kind of more of a for fun. This isn't like a really in depth like true predictions, but it's more like a handful of things that I'd like to see that stand a decent chance, right? Kind of a decent to good chance. Like they're conceivable, maybe not the most likely. I mean, like there are some really obvious ones, like lightning, or like my brother said, Noctis. Very highly likely, already have been confirmed for the game. And like I said, I haven't looked up any spoilers, or any leaks that I would have heard would have been years old, so they're basically unreliable at this point, right? So it's all speculation from here. I'm going in pretty much blind with a fresh set of eyes.
We live under Patrick's rock. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that's kind of the best way to play. Well, we live kind of in isolation as it is, so I don't know. It's fitting. But basically,
don't know. If I went outside and screamed at the top of my lungs, I'm pretty sure there would be like.
Okay. Well, I don't want this to be like a 2-hour video. Plus we are kind of on a time limit. That being said, I am going to pad the runtime. Real fast, I'm going to run down the Final Fantasy characters that have already appeared in the Kingdom Hearts series. I think I got like most or all of them. Not counting the one where you could do the avatars, like like that. Those icons or the doll style that you really hate to see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that I think that originated in a Kingdom Hearts game. I don't remember which one though. But that they had costumes for different characters, including like Lightning, for example.
Yeah.
But okay, so Tidus, Waka, and Selphie were at the beginning of KH1, right? As kids, right? Cloud and Squall, of course, have been prominent, as has Sephiroth. Cloud was also in a Vincent costume. Squall goes by the name of Leon, which is part of his last name in the series. Plus, also from 7, you have Squall was from 8.
Is Vincent Van Gogh?
You also have Aerith, Yuffie, Sid, the 7, like Sid Highwind. I already said Sephiroth. Tifa appeared in the second game, right? It was also a character you could fight against. Zack was in Birth by Sleep, right, which was a prequel, so that there was some sense there. We might see him return in the third game, but that's not what I'm doing on the list. YRP, right? Yuna, Riku, and Pain, the FF10-2 versions as fairies, oddly enough, in FF2. Auron. He was the guest character at Olympus Coliseum in the second game.
Oh, I think I slightly remember that.
Yeah, he had bigger shoes though. And the Katetsu was just called Katana.
Right? Which character in Disney doesn't?
Okay, Setzer from Final Fantasy VI and Vivi from Final Fantasy IX, who are standouts because they were the only characters Nomura would include because he's allergic to any character he didn't design. They almost had Laguna, but they scrapped. And this show just goes to show I don't know how copyright law works. They scrapped Laguna for Birth by Sleep because they were including him in Dissidia, and I'm thinking like, don't you own the copyright? Can't you just do both? So that proves I have no idea how the law works. Cypher, Fujin, and Raijin from Final Fantasy VIII. They were a trio of villains basically. Maybe that's putting it lightly. Hold on, I need to get this list. We're in Kingdom Hearts 2. I almost said Final Fantasy 2. That would be inaccurate. a slightly younger, a little bit younger than their original selves, and as basically, they weren't really baddies. They were just kind of neighborhood annoying people. And then from sister series, the world ends with you, which is like which was kind of a one-off in the DS, but still a cult classic. They had Neku, Shiki, Beat, Rhyme, and Joshua, as well as no, that was it. But they had references to like pins and stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3D, and then also in Kingdom Hearts 3D, they named several characters that they have not actually included, especially from other characters. Like they had O Knight, Bartz, Cecil, Rosa, etc. I don't remember all the ones that they named, but they had a bunch. I think like Renoa was named, and so any of those are possibilities. I'm not again. I'm not going to go through name them all or anything. But yeah, let's go through. I'm going to start off the list because I have more on my predictions list. Wait, what?
What about Jack? Do you think he could
Oh,
be?
for fuck's sake! That was the finale. That was the last one I was gonna say.
I didn't even know. I'm sorry.
That's right. I forgot to show you the.
I'm so sorry.
Now we gotta do another take. No, it's too late. Too late. Okay, fine. There was my PG-13 F-bomb. Okay, but I'm gonna start the. Okay, well I guess I'm doing it out of order. Well, that was supposed to be that was supposed to be my number one pick, but jacked.
Here, take one of mine.
Okay, we got jacked from Final Fantasy X, right? Kind of the sort of the main villain, but he's not really like evil or anything. It's just he got caught up in some bad stuff. I think he would be a perfect fit for Kingdom Hearts. He could be mandatory or secret, but I've been thinking, for like Final Fantasy X, it was the first one on the PS2, right? And then the second Final Fantasy on the PS2 was Kingdom Hearts 1. Well, that's a joke, but that's not totally true. But it's kind of they're connected. They're connected in people's minds, and it's gauche to say this, their hearts, right? They are somewhat related games. There's and he would also be a good fit, kind of with his personality and personality. Who am I kidding? Look, he transforms into a giant monster man, right? Like almost
lives.
Like a Native American Hulk kind of.
Well,
that's really bad. That's a really bad way of describing it because he's got feathers. He's coated. In, that's really bad.
Wow.
Forget.
Great job.
No, but no. But like he kind of fit because like it kind of reminds me of Jafar, right? And in both the movie and in Kingdom Hearts, he transforms into his evil genie form, right? Now, Jack again is not evil. He's just caught up in some bad stuff. That's a ringtone. He just got he always got caught up into some weird fate stuff.
Take one of mine for your finale. I legitimately did not know that was your final.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's see. But I think Jacked is really. Again, this would have been a better later on, but I think Jacked, in both his regular and Braska's final Aeon, as they call it, form, is really the boss that we've been waiting for in Kingdom Hearts, right? Anyways, okay, your turn. You want to give one?
Sure. The first one I put on my list was apparently...
Speak a little closer to the mic just to make sure you can capture it.
So apparently the first one I put on my list was Warrior of Light.
Okay.
So I don't know much about the Warrior of Light because I'm still relatively new to the series. And I'd say the game I've played the most has anything to do with Final Fantasy is Mobius. So my knowledge is little, but I'm pretty sure he's a pretty relevant character considering he was in the first game.
Yeah, keep going.
Here
we go. This is the pick.
Honestly,
why can't I get a secure connection?
This is a pick. Insecure connection.
I don't know why my computer's having
the
problems.
Internet's #1 killer.
How much would it bet if I hit this? It would say update. No update. That's weird. Okay, fine. Well, you get the visual.
Yeah.
Change the pictures.
Yeah,
Right. The original. So the original warrior.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. The FF1.
He just seems like a very relevant character. That'd be
Yeah.
hard
Funny.
to
Yeah. I was
displace.
actually talking about this on the way home. The funny thing is, the Warrior of Light wasn't actually in the original game. He was on the cover. Okay. He was in the intro video for the PS1 version, and he is of course the FF1 hero in Dissidia. But he wasn't. There's no actual character. There's no Warrior of Light class in Final Fantasy. You have Warrior, and the 4 characters that you play, the nameless characters, they're called the Warriors of Light. But he's just kind of like the catch-all, kind of like like the mascot. But he had nothing to do with the original game. It's just kind of weird. Yeah, kind of a weird little. Oh, not that. Oh yeah. These were actually the originals. It just kind of no Minecraft. They had a Minecraft, like the NES version of the guy in Minecraft form.
God.
Anyways,
I don't know why people do this. Well, actually, I do know why.
Yeah, I don't think that's really difficult to figure out.
It truly is not.
Okay, well, so you propose warrior. I actually have a very So there's an FF1 pick. Well, okay, so a lot of some of the reasoning I'm about to give for my next pick, you could also apply to that. It was and of course, if you watched any trivia video, you already know this. The original game was called Final Fantasy because Square at the time, Squaresoft, they thought they were about to die, so they made it like a tongue-in-cheek joke. It's like, oh, this is the last game. This is the last game. It's like we did a couple Dragon Quests. Now let's do the Final Fantasy. But then it kicked up. Then it turned into a hit, and they're like, oh, I guess we got to do Final Fantasy 2.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, it wasn't that sinister. I don't know why I did a freaking villain laugh. Okay.
Villain laugh.
Oops, I can't just type in Garland. That means something.
Comical.
Garland. Actually, my next pick isn't. It's Garland and or Chaos and or the 4 Fiends. Okay, Final Fantasy has been out for over 30. It's been out for over 30 years now. I think we could say Garland becomes Chaos by the end of Final Fantasy 1. Right? So he's the main villain, and he's in even as early as that game. There was a twist. There was a surprise. He's a mean mofo. That's kind of the thing. Okay, he's a powerhouse, right? Like if you're not gonna put in the Hulk because you have the rights to him. You might as you have options, right? You have someone who can take on Ralph. But no, for real. The game that made all this possible. There wouldn't be a Kingdom Hearts had it not been for the Final Fantasy in the 80s, right? So it would make sense, at least in my mind, to pay homage to the first game in some way, shape, or form. Now, my brother and I, we just named opposing characters on that side, and I would even see it.
And we have another set.
Yeah, I know. And it would. I would see it likely, like as we're going through like the stories with like the Keyblade Wars and stuff. I could conceivably see like all the Cosmos and Chaos Warriors from Dissidia making at least a brief appearance. Although I highly doubt that. I really doubt that's actually going to come to fruition. But Garland, is kind of a tricky and integral character. I could see him trying to wedge his way in there, or if not him, let's say the 4 Fiends, right? Like, hold on, let me pull up an image. Let me see if I can get. Okay, so the 4 Fiends, right? The Lich, Merilith, the Kraken, and Tiamat, right? A quartet of bosses. I would very much like to see. I'm really hoping that like some enemy or boss in Kingdom Hearts 3 makes a reference to the 4 Fiends. I imagine there would be either a Disney character or a Disney villain, or a Heartless boss, right? That might have an attack where they do Earthquake, Blaze, Tsunami, and Cyclone, preferably in that order. All about it once. What's so funny?
You know what Kingdom Hearts should do? What Smash Bros. Did Waluigi.
I knew you were going to crack that joke somehow. I was telling myself earlier, I'm like, we're going to make a Waluigi reference at some point. Yeah, no, okay, come on. It's been rolling long enough. How long has the video has been rolling? It's been 1 week since I looked at me. No, it's been already 15 minutes.
Oh,
and we're only on like the 3rd pick. well, it's kind of a recombinant pick, so it's my fault for being a ham. But yeah, the 4 fiends. I actually, if anything, I think it would be very doable. I say that as if I were on the dev team, right? I think it'd be very doable to see the 4 fiends as large enemy heartless, right? You know, kind of like how they have like large bodies,
Yeah.
or like the ones with the shield. You know, like the tougher ones, you know, that are almost like mini bosses, but by the end of the game, they're common enemies. I could see the 4 fiends kind of turning into heartless like that, right? Like they have done a couple of foes before, like Mag Rotor, right? Which was it's an enemy from Final Fantasy VI and I think 7, but I never played 7. It just feels like, okay, don't quote me on that. I know it was in 6, right? They had a handful of monsters. They were kind of like science experiments that were fused with like a motorcycle wheel, and so they would chase you down in a minecart when you were trying to get away in a minecart, or something like that.
But they have the motorcycle wheel. Why do they have to hop into a minecart to chase
No,
you?
no, they're not in the minecart. You're in the minecart, and it's actually a platform, but it's going at like a really high speed, but they can keep up with you. That's the thing. Right, so that they made that a common enemy in Kingdom Hearts 2, particularly most notably in the Tron level, where they actually had 4 different colors of it, 3 or 4 different colors. So I would see that very likely happening, and of course the big bad guy himself, Chaos. Right, I could see him becoming a potential secret boss. Basically, the bottom line is, if they don't reference Final Fantasy 1 in some way or somehow, Kingdom Hearts 3 has already failed. I'm kidding, of course, but yeah, it just feels like.
It's like they reference it with a poster on a random wall.
Well, no, actually, that would be acceptable. I'm actually going to say something like that. Yeah, okay. Well, those are the little details. They do those in Marvel movies and Disney movies, right? Yeah. They pay homage to other things. Anyways, I'm actually going to name my next pick. Jumping back to Garland for a sec. Like looking at him in the heavy armor, I could really, like the way I'd really see Garland appearing is in a flashback. When they're talking about the Keyblade Wars, like he could be leading a charge of, whatever faction or squad is, like the aggressors. Because he does look like, he looks like he would be, the kind of heavy that Terra takes after. And speaking of Terra, and this is a bad segue, but oh man, I hope Safe Search is on.
Safe Search will be enabled for future
searches. Terra Branford specifically, right? Now, Kingdom Hearts, they came up with a Terra of their own, right? In Birth by Sleep, they introduced a trio of characters named after different kind of elements of the planet, right? Ventus for air, Aqua for water, and Terra for earth. And so his name makes, I think, the Kingdom Hearts Terra makes more sense name-wise, but I don't see Terra Branford actually making an appearance in the game, but it would have been kind of cool to see if either a character from Kingdom Hearts or a character from Final Fantasy makes a reference to just a character named Terra, and they confuse someone from the other side, right? So for example, like let's say Warrior of Light. I know that's no, probably more like, let's say Lightning, right? And she's not in either of our lists, but I'm just we're just working on speculation here. Let's say Lightning says something about like she needs to find Terra, or Terra had told her something, but she's telling that to Aqua. Actually, I think Aqua's busy. Ventus, is he alive? I don't remember. It's been a long time. One of them, right? But they think she's talking about the guy, right? So they grill her, they press on, they get on her case, right? So there could be some confusion. That'd be a tacky way to start a fight. That's not really what I'm hoping, but I would like to see at least a slight nod to the fact that yes, there was another Terra. You wanna ironic. I named him after a Disney character. You wanna give your next pick?
Oh yeah, that's right. You were the one who named it. No, you
watch out, family. Okay, yeah, you do that. Okay. Okay. Why is it still giving me problems? Do I need to update? Okay. Okay, so my next pick, I would say, I don't see this one particularly likely, but if we're expanding if we're expanding the Kingdom Hearts universe, I could see entry for one or all of the Onion Knights. If it'd be one, it'd be the same one that's in Dissidia, right?
Oh, that was close. I was about to write that one down earlier, and I'm like, no, too irrelevant.
Well, yeah, again, I don't find this one to be too likely, but like they are a squad, and they're also young heroes, right? They slash he, if you look at it as either the ones that were in like the 3 remake or the catch-all one that was like for the 3 original. He's got. I think he's got a. His personality could be a good foil to some of the existing characters. He might provide pretty much the same role as he had in Dissidia, minus the protecting Terra part. Because that was kind of silly. The game didn't really suffer for it, but from a narrative standpoint, I heard a lot of people did like the girlification of Terra. Terra Branford, not Terra, the snubbed Keyblade Master. The guy who got possessed and became the villain, not by his own will. Oh, and then he became the secret boss. Okay, anyways, weird. I thought I had more to say about that. Okay, well, probably more likely than an actual character appearance would probably be like a weapon or a set of weapons maybe, because like even in Dissidia, right? Like he has like his regular sword, then he has the ninja swords and the sage's staff, right? So it's there's stuff you could do, like references you could make more than they did in Dream Drop Distance, where they just named him by name. Okay, I'm almost to my supreme pick, and then I have a couple joke ones. Do you want to come back here and?
Yeah, I'm just washing my hands really quickly. I'll be a second.
Okay.
Don't forget to cut this part out of the video.
Okay, I plan on uploading it raw.
Oh.
Yeah, so because otherwise then I have to spend time in the editor. I need to find the part that's wrong, snip it, push the parts back together, then have it process the whole thing out again.
Yeah.
And then I also lose quality.
Yeah, that's the worst part of these. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm coming. Grab fork.
Is he eating the card?
I don't think I'm on fork.
Okay, I think this is who he's going to name next. Can I get a...
Now, for my next pick, no, I'm kidding. Ace.
You could have said it, then I would just have to be like, oh, whoop, gotta roll. Here, we'll use this Mobius card art.
What? Ace has a card in Mobius?
It was part of a limited time event. Apparently he's an Earth Ranger type.
Sure. Ace. Alright, what's your next pick?
That's right. Neither of us have played Type 0. The only reason he remembers Ace is because he's the guy who gives us the most trouble in Dissidia NT.
Yeah.
As an opponent. Okay, but he's another young hero, right? He's a he comes from like an elite academy of
gamblers.
Not gamblers. No, he's the only one. He's the only one I think who's actually like kind of a gambler. But he's not like he doesn't actually like. It's more like risk and reward, not like let's go to Vegas and lose all our savings. No, it's not. No. If any. Oh, okay. But like now that I mention it, they already had Setzer in Kingdom Hearts 2, but he was nothing like his originals. Well, he had the personality. He had almost the same personality, but like he didn't actually have his own weapons, which was cards or dice or darts, right? Different gambler stuff, right? Stuff you'd see at a pub. What?
Or Barts.
He's actually not on my list. But I will, quick shout out to Final Fantasy V. Anything and everything is welcome. Basically, we just want to see more FF, right? They kind of, I mean, credit where credit is due. Nomura and his team and teams, whoever makes Kingdom Hearts, they did do a pretty good job creating a lot of original characters, right? Org 13, the different towns, the different trios, a lot of great characters, right? But part of the sales pitch of the original Kingdom Hearts, which admittedly, was to help get it off the ground, was a fusion of two completely opposing elements, two completely different universes. And so, with every installment, so for decades, I've been asking myself, who's next? What's next? So that, then that's kind of like what this list, is kind of, referencing. But like the Onion Knight, Ace, could provide some, good, another good complementary personality. Coming from the side. He uses the cards, right? Like he doesn't use like a melee weapon, right? So I wonder how like because and we've been I say we, not you and me, but like me and some of my other friends, we've been joking about this for years. It's like everyone's getting a Keyblade or something like that, right? Oh, because
all Ace needs to do is like get one of his cards, fold it up into a shiv, and then enhance it with magic.
Okay, well,
he's like, come here, Sora.
Oh my god, he's not gonna kill Sora. Okay. Give your last pick, and then we gotta wrap this up.
Oh shit. Okay.
Parents are almost back from the store.
Okay, so my final pick for this session was Kefka. My damn pen dropped. Was Kefka? Yes, that thing. Yes, Ronald McDonald on steroids. And
or the medieval Joker.
LSD.
Okay, well.
I don't know, from this angle he looks like Ronald McDonald, kind of.
Yeah, I guess he kind of does.
No, from this angle, because some of the... whatever. Anyways,
this
point is...
cosplay.
The point is,
yes.
Another character I do not know much of, excuse my grammar, I do not know much of Kefka, other than he's a spellcaster.
Okay, yeah. Well, the blurb they gave, the kind of the blurb title they gave him in the original city was Mad Mage, right? So yeah, he is a masterful magic user, right? He's pretty crazy. But apparently, like the Joker, apparently he does also have a bit of a physical punch to him too. Mostly in his case, mostly in the form of Havoc Wing, where he flips up, where he does a somersault and then spikes out these like razor blade wings.
Oh, God.
All of a sudden, it's pretty mean. Oh. He is a nutter, right? And a character this colorful, I would imagine, fits real well into Kingdom Hearts. Considering it's getting another good kind of melding of the two themes. He is crazy and he loves hurting people. Oh. Right? He is murder incarnate, right? But from a more broad perspective, he's also he's a sadistic tactician, but he's also a very clever guy. Like he in the original game, right, in FF6, where he's from. Which, by the way, I named Terra, you named Kefka, so we mentioned that already. He is and this is spoilers, although again it's been 25 years, so.
He's really friends with the boss from Dark Cloud 1.
No, but his final transformation does make him kind of look like that. Let's see if I get a picture. Look, see?
Oh, God.
Yeah, so you weren't kidding, right? Okay, so the thing about Kefka. He does become like a god, essentially. Like he becomes like a crazy, like, god of sorts. And then you have to defeat him. But the reason he was able to do that was because he knew the history, he knew the lore, right? And he studied, and he kind of positioned himself, right, in the Emperor. Now, he wasn't the court jester, right? He was actually like, he had a role, I think, kind of similar to Kuja in Final Fantasy IX. I'm remembering kind of paraphrasing. FF9, also another game that I'd like to see any and all additional content for Kingdom Hearts. It'll fit. Nomura, just do it. Okay, but
He is no more a one.
Come on, it's already been half an hour, and I'm like, it's really hot in here. Yes. Okay. Look. Okay. Point is, Kafka is a smart cookie, right? He would definitely be able to.
Definitely seems
he could insert himself into the plot. He could reveal himself as like not so fast. This was all part of my master plan. So you know, it was just another link in the chain.
Definitely an oatmeal raisin cookie. Either you like him or you don't.
Yes, he is. I think he would be a pretty good fit. Any way you slice it. Probably not probably not like a formal arena boss. Could be secret, could be mandatory. You know, kind of like with Jet, right? You know, there's almost no way you could do it wrong. Just have a reference. Not have a reference. No, actually put him in the game. Put him in the. Don't just have a reference. Put him in the game. Okay. Okay. Well, my final pick should be a no-brainer. Now, when Kingdom Hearts first came out, even when the second one came out, I could understand why they hadn't gotten around to this yet. Gilgamesh. Well, I misspelled it. Okay, now I have to be specific.
Gil makes his own Gil.
Enter, damn it. Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh. No, not Prish. Okay. What are we doing with this? Okay, couple things. Okay. For one, he is Final Fantasy's own crossover character, right? He's appeared in. I think he's appeared in more Final Fantasies than Moogles have.
Oh.
Don't quote me on that one. I would actually have to stop and think and count it out. But no, he does appear, and even in re-releases, remakes, they retrofitted him into other games. So like in
Ganondorf gone buff.
Ganondorf was always buff, idiot.
Shut up. You can't see it through that armor. How do you know?
Okay, look. No, under the armor, he's E Honda. No, trust me on this one. Yeah. So Gilgamesh is also kind of a kooky character, right? He's and actually, you know what? The character he would most be like, he's like Deadpool in a lot of ways, right? Because he's a swordsman.
He's a sugar kooky because everyone freaking likes him.
Okay, he's got he's got a he's comedic. He's comedic but skilled. Although Deadpool I would say it's still a hell of a lot tougher. Ultimately, all things considered, but Gilgamesh, and he breaks the fourth wall, right? Like sometimes I hesitate to say that it's a thing, right? But more to the point, the void, the rift, right? That was kind of the big looming threat in Final Fantasy V. Again, spoilers, sorry. The main villain, Exdeath, right? He gained the power of the void, and he started opening up black holes on the planet that would absorb different towns and cities and I think a castle at one point, and put them into the rift, right? Which is kind of like an in-between world. And the thing is, Gilgamesh worked for Exdeath, but then Exdeath banished him to the rift. And see, even though Bartz and company, they have an easy time finding their way back to where they started, Gilgamesh somehow got lost and wound up appearing in like every other game. He was in FF1, 6, 8, 9, although that was kind of a different character. Same goes for 11. That was a completely different character, but they at least had a guy named it. He was in 12, like straight up and formally, and it was in 12. You could see that he had managed to pick up like everyone's sword. Right, because he had the gunblade, he had the Buster Sword, he had two different, like real and fake Excaliburs.
Oh.
Yeah. He even had the Brotherhood, although again, like all those were like fakes. Oh. So it's like he's a thief, but he's like a samurai thief, which I guess isn't like mutually exclusive.
Stuff belongs to me.
Yeah, and of course he is also a very colorful character, but you know what? His design looks like it would fit real well in Big Hero 6. No, think about it, because Are you thinking? Are you thinking about it?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. He's got the right color scheme. He's got the right, and of course, the Japanese inspired, design, the makeup and stuff, right? He's like the villain in Big Hero 6. He wore a kabuki mask, right?
Yes.
And that's what Gilgamesh's face is painted to look like. So it's kind of, so like if I were in charge, I would definitely, I would at least introduce him there, if not, make that kind of his main haunt as far as a Kingdom Hearts installment goes. He was in 14. He was in 15. What the hell is this? Which century is this? Obviously, Dissidia. And they referenced him in the first game, and they included him in the second game as one of the last couple secret characters. Which, above you saw he was like side by side with Chris, right? You have to beat most of the game, and then you have to find where he's hiding on the world map. This is actually the secret boss. Well, no, I think someone did a fake, like, old school.
Fake news.
Don't say that. Careful, that's political. No, of course, I think Jecht is like really like the supreme pick for I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, for like the character that we've been waiting the most for. But Gilgamesh would make a lot of sense no matter how you include him in the game, right? Because he is known for going from world to world, from universe to universe, quite easily, quite handily. And his motivation is simple. He wants to fight the best warriors and take the best weapons, right? He's kind of like Kefka. He's also he's also a very colorful character, but not crazy. He's just he's a little eccentric, but he's still a very distinct personality and pretty much long overdue for this particular crossover. I would be very surprised if Gilgamesh did not at least get a cameo or mention in Kingdom Hearts 3, quite honestly. Okay, of this list, of our lists, out of what I've named so far, I think he is the most likely to make an appearance, other than maybe Warrior of Light, but I don't have too much confidence in that one. Well, I don't have as much confidence in that one. It's still not a guarantee. I'm gonna find out in the coming weeks because it'll release here in America in at the time of this recording in like 2 more nights. And I'm excited to see if he managed to pick up 8 different Keyblades. Because sorry, I forgot to show, because of course one of Gilgamesh's one of his most iconic things is Morphin Time, which was a Power Rangers reference. Again, any Final Fantasy trivia, you would have known this already. Yeah, but he turns himself into an 8-armed, an 8-armed, basically like a Hulk, right, or like a Drax type, and also his armor somehow also transforms with him. I don't fully understand that, but he's a big guy. He's comic relief. He's Square's own little crossover king, right? Wherever Mario's not involved. I've been dying to see him, come at you with a full circle of Keyblades, even if they're fake, even if they're dead, right? Like the ones in the Keyblade graveyard from Birth by Sleep. Like I would totally see him trying to haul the entire Keyblade graveyard. I can't take the whole thing with me.
Oh mine.
Yeah, exactly. I could. I'm waiting to see that. I feel like it shouldn't be if, but when. But knowing Nomura and the Kingdom Hearts history, if we can, he keeps putting Winnie the Pooh in there, so I can't be guaranteed that they have. And of course in Smash Bros. Waluigi not being playable. I don't know if in Japan they can read polls. I guess they read the domestic one because they voted Shizue. But yes, Gilgamesh, Kingdom Hearts 3. Retroactively, make it happen. It shouldn't even be a question, really. Okay, but now I've wasted enough time. Where were we at? Yeah, almost 40 minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to end on a couple of, I really hope I have saves. Oh, yeah, I do have. Oh, no? Do I? No, I guess not. Okay. Okay, so now for a couple of fun picks, right? These stand like basically a 0% chance of actually being in the game, but yeah, just for fun, I want to throw them out there. From FF9, Freya. Um, you might consider this a bit of a racist comment, but for a few years I have joked, I've thought that if and when they finally get, oh god, if and when they finally get Ratatouille in Kingdom Hearts, yeah. I don't feel good about saying this aloud. I should rehearse this properly, but I know you'll get to do a single take. Look, I just think putting them in the same picture or the same frame of reference somehow, not the same size, right? That's the thing. Like she's, as you can see, there's Freya, where Freya is from, right? It's this whole race of what you might call beastmen. They had a town, and within Final Fantasy IX, it fits, right? They'd already established that they got a lot of different species running around, right? Kind of like FF11 and 14. But the Burmesians in particular, they were rats, right? They're rat people, but they're also very clean and cultured, and like they're not they're not raggedy, right? They're very now they live in a very wet place, but I mean like it's very look I just think I just always imagine like you take the scene from Ratatouille, right? Like I imagine like Freya and maybe Fratley, right, her lover, like they'd be like eating at the restaurant, but like you don't see them at first because like they got their heads behind the menus, but then you hear like the scene in Ratatouille. When they see when one of the restaurant goers sees Remy for the first time, they shout out, "Rat!" Oh come on, you're like write your own punchline and then let them figure out how to play the scene. It's not going to happen, right? I know I said I try to avoid spoilers and stuff, but I know that Remy's in the game, but it seems like he's just part of like one of the towns, like Traverse Town or Twilight Town. He's not actually. Like there's no Ratatouille world. But then again, like what would you do with that, right? Like, would you be miniature? Would you? I mean, like I could conceivably see it happening because they did that a little in Birth by Sleep with the Cinderella level, right? One of the versions of that level is you're shrunken down because you have to play with the mice, right? You have to help out the mice who are helping out Cinderella. So it's not like there's no precedent for it. The other. And I don't know why I put this in the joke picks. This isn't really so much a joke. This is actually kind of a serious one, but one that I find incredibly unlikely. Ultimecia, right? Now, now, similar to how my brother has very little knowledge of the series as a whole, I didn't play all of 8. I only played a little bit, so I don't know too much about her character. But it's she's so most of what I know is pretty much gleaned from Dissidia, and that is. She's a witch. No, but for real, no, she's the time. She's the witch who controls time, right? Like her ultimate scheme was to kind of destroy or erase or stop or I don't know something just breaking reality through time travel, right? Kind of doing what they tell you not to do in Back to the Future. But like she has magic, so like she doesn't have to listen to your rules. I think this would actually play real well into the storyline that Kingdom Hearts already has going. And that is like with Xehanort, right? And this is spoiler. This is semi spoilers. It's semi spoilers, semi not because I don't really remember all of what I'm saying. But the Xehanort kind of plot line, right? There's an element of time travel there because because Xehanort he has to. Let me see if I remember correctly. His master plan involves him going back in time and picking himself up in different instances and imbuing those different copies of himself into bodies of other people who exist concurrently in order to form an ultimate alliance of evil whose powers can unite to do something, give him a special key. I don't remember what the reasoning is behind it, but his goal does involve him kind of disobeying YouTube. No, I don't watch YouTube video. Kind of disobeying the laws of time, and I could, like if I were in charge, I might have wrote Ultimecia into the plot somehow. Either he runs into her, she gave him the power in the first place, right? She's working with him somehow, right? Or maybe like Xehanort goes on too long, and then he winds up attracting her attention, right? And so like ultimately she might like actually help you to get to Xehanort in the finale. Like maybe because like she tries to put a stop, or she takes away some of his time power or intercepts or whatever, like just enough to like let you step up to the plate. But then at the same time, she's also available to fight as the final secret boss. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. And so it's not. I don't know about her playing. And I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe she could catfight with Maleficent. Now that's a really dumb take on it, but I don't know. The point is, there's stuff you can do with the character in the world that's already been established, right? And so those are some of the prime picks again, that I had, and my brother also had for some Final Fantasy stuff that we would that we might have liked to see in KH3. Of course, us going into it blindly. I mean, this is mostly for me in this case, but going into it blindly kind of helps the element of surprise, so that so that everything the experience will be wholly fresh and good and cool. And look, it's really hot in here. I've kind of lost my mastery of higher thought and better words. But those were some of our picks for Final Fantasy characters that we would like to see in Kingdom Hearts 3 and or other future installments. Excuse me. Of course, with the added caveat of, well, I'd like to see them all. Well, not all of them, but I wouldn't mind seeing a lot. Right? I understand, of course, that they put more focus on the original, the Kingdom Hearts originals and Disney characters, and for the fact of getting more worlds. But they have already established that a lot of the Final Fantasy characters are hiding out in the world, and we are curious to see who gets in, who gets cut. I don't know. Just you get the idea. Like insert generic YouTube conclusion of a video here, right? Anyways, yeah. So good night, and have fun with Kingdom Hearts 3 and Resident Evil 2. I'm QT.